Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 365, the year-end special. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez,
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley,
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero,
Yo, 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 yo.
Adam Vale,
What up, people?
and Brian Manjoma.
What up, what up, what up?
All right, people, like I said at the top, this is the last regular Throwdown of the year. So we're going to be going over the year. As I was looking over some of the stories, I'm like, that'll happen this year? Shit. you know?
We had a lot.
Yeah, like what I did was, and I'm glad we kind of title our our shows after like the biggest headlines. So I was going through, I'm like, that happened, this happened, this happened this year. So we got lots of stuff. So, we're going to do the usual rundown. We're going to go through some of the biggest gaming stories happening this year. We're going to give our top 3 games of the year that we liked, and then what we're looking forward to next year, man. So as we usually do, I'm going to go down the line here and just have you guys, talk about one gaming story or event that you thought was notable, and because there's a lot happened, so we'll go do a couple of rounds, So let's start with Adam. Adam, what's a big gaming story that you think is notable that happened this year?
There was a bunch I had. Oh,
Uh-oh.
come back to me.
All right, damn, it's like that.
You told me earlier, and then I already had it, and then I just
I texted you like hours ago.
Yeah, and I had it. I was like, oh, I know what I'm going to talk
Brain
about.
fart.
Brain
fart.
Oh,
All right, I'll jump over to Carlos.
What was it?
Man, there are so many stories this year, and it's only one, right?
Yeah. Here's start with one. Okay, you go first, Adam, before you forget.
Go for it, Adam.
It was because to me, Call of Duty, the Activision, that was a big gaming story. The whole scandal of everything that's going on behind the scenes, and wondering if the gaming community was even going to give a shit.
Oh, about the Activision scandal. Yeah.
The scandal
That's a
and
big
all
one.
that stuff, and then to actually see that the sales have been pretty slow. Besides the fact that this Call of Duty is kind of weak compared to last year's Cold War, maybe that plays a factor, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it is related to all the scandals going on, and with the higher ups, and with it's just a lot going on over there. So that whole scandal with Activision. And that carries off, if you think about it, from last year, because we heard about this last year.
Yeah, and then the whole thing with Bobby Kotick, everybody's coming down on him. Maybe he'll be let go. It's possible.
And it's ongoing, I don't think he's ever going to step down. I think he's probably too ingrained, and he's probably got too much dirt on everybody else. I was like, yo, if I go down, you all go down. And they're like, okay, nobody goes.
The interesting thing about that story, that Activision wasn't the only one. There was another studio that got accused of the same thing. And then now, literally today, Bungie was now being accused of this.
Oh, yeah. I saw the Bungie one.
So, that like the whole sexual harassment stuff, HR. Because HR was just letting this shit go, They were just letting it happen because obviously these guys are in power or whatever. They're not going to say shit. Mm-hmm. So, it's like, all right, business as usual. But now, as kind of like with Me Too, when somebody, spoke up, everybody came out, so that you've been hearing that about several studios, So that
Ubisoft also.
Ubisoft, that's another one. That's the one I was thinking about specifically. Ubisoft, like, bro. So and Ubisoft, that actually started last year. That happened.
And
go ahead.
And that's the whole. There's this whole dichotomy when it comes to sort of, doing, I guess quote unquote doing our part to call this stuff out, because it's some people are saying, hey, should we boycott the games, or what the hell should we do? And it's like, it's kind of it's kind of a difficult position, because we're technically, we want to support the people, but we're also kind of not supporting the people because we're kind of not paying them for the work that they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's a whole dilemma, and and it's all, it all stems from the top. Bobby Kotick and his peers, a lot of them are the ones that enable these kinds of things in these environments, and those are the people that need to be held accountable. But unfortunately, Bobby Kotick is he's the fucking boss of this whole thing. So he's like, yeah, we'll do our investigation. Yeah, but you're gonna investigate yourself. I trust what you're gonna investigate. So we've been even before this. I think everyone in this panel did not like Bobby Kotick.
Yeah,
He
No,
didn't.
I mean,
we didn't hide that fact.
well, I mean, come on. He's been the center of of the evil for a long time. Remember what was it? Metal Gear, Call of Metal. What was that thing that used to make fun of him? It was with it was like a Metal Gear goof, but it was also making fun of of Activision. Something
Yeah, I don't know.
metal. I can't remember. It was a guy dressed up like Old Snake, and it was literally the main villain of the whole thing was Bobby Kotick in an
Wow.
armored robot suit. So, dude has always been a creep, always been weird. This shit doesn't surprise. It doesn't really surprise me, especially with the that guy. You know.
Yeah, no, but now it seems like the chickens are coming home to roost and all that, because they had all these scandals were happening, firing people, all this other stuff. We're talking about things that have been going on for years, and this guy would always get another pay raise, another bonus at the end of the year.
Well, yeah, you look at the whole like you look at all the shitty shit that has happened with that guy in that company, right? Literally firing people during the pandemic, essentially, and then coming up in after saying they've had record profits. Yeah, because you literally knocked off like thousands of workers on these games. So now it's finally coming together. It's like it really should have happened years ago.
Yeah, but again, this wasn't in the zeitgeist like it is now. Just like Harvey Weinstein. Let's just be real here.
Well, I mean,
same deal.
The shitty thing about it is that, you have a lot of these bosses. It's like you're going to tell the boss, how is it possible that you can tell the boss, oh, hey, you're fucked up and all that stuff? They'll fucking fire your ass.
Yeah.
And like, especially with Weinstein, like, he literally blacklisted actors.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there are a list of female actors that have complained about this shit, and they are just gone.
And male actors.
And our boy Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, Bobby Kotick is of that type, and and just going back to what Carlos said, it's like, okay, go ahead, boycott the games, right? You're gonna hurt the people under Bobby Kotick, so you don't want to do that, obviously. And then again, it's like, who's gonna give up their Overwatches and Call of Duties and Diablo? No one's gonna do that, so boycotting is not a realistic solution. But it seems like something may be finally happening. We'll have to see about that. But I think this is, just in general, is going to keep going on with like people coming out against companies. Because again, just today, Bungie got hit with it.
Well, I also feel like it's important to see what kind of coverage this is getting.
Yeah,
I know this is some of the biggest news in gaming going on, but I don't know if this is big news in terms of the mainstream. Like, I don't know if the regular, like Tony mentioned, the Call of Duties, the Overwatch. I don't know if the people that just play those games every year even know about this.
No, they don't. And you're right about that. This hasn't hit the mainstream. Even Cyberpunk hit the mainstream. Ironically enough, we're gonna bring that game up again. Jesus,
the gift that keeps on giving.
But yeah, no, Adam, that's definitely a good pick. But yeah, Carlos, I guess the rules like you have your main story, but we'll circle back around to have a runner up because again, a lot of shit happened this year. All right. Yeah, you know what, Carlos, you go ahead, man. You go next.
Which story to go with?
What a day!
All right. What a day! I'll go with a big one. Probably, honestly, the one
That's what she said.
Yeah.
That is true. That is true. This is probably the most important one to most of us, if not all of us, in a way. And that's just the shortages, the chip shortages. They've led to a scarce amount of consoles that people can get, and to an extent where these things are in the resale market going for crazy numbers. Adam knows all about this. It's getting ridiculous, man. Not all of us have a Fergus Mills in our lives, unfortunately.
Exactly.
And it's getting ridiculous. People are trying their best, to get, and specifically the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. These consoles are nowhere to be found. When they are found, they're sold out within seconds. And I'm wondering how, the whole thing is going on with people, kids, Christmas. one of their friends has a PS5 and their parents have saved up enough to get them one, but it's just impossible to even get one. So I kind of feel a lot for the kids that can't get these things in Christmas. I remember when I was a kid, the N64. I don't remember there were shortages back in the day. So it sucks, man. But it's probably the most important thing, because most of the people that want to get a console and the next quote unquote the next generation console can't get one. And I don't see this. This is a 2021 story, but I think this is going to be also a 2022 story.
Maybe even a 2023 story too.
Very
bro.
possible. Very possible.
It is insane. Yeah, because of the chip shortage, supply, all this thing, because of the Rona, right? It's all fucked up. You can't get anything. No graphics cards either.
That's another thing.
It's like, bruh, you can't buy shit now. So it's just crazy how, By the way, I'm gonna go next because I have something that ties into this shit, but it's because of these consoles being delayed that we're still not fully in the next generation yet. Nothing can move forward, So yeah, like you said, it's gonna keep going on forever. I'm gonna just segue to my shit because it's the same thing. That's why everything's getting delayed now. That's the other big story of this year. Everything was getting fucking delayed. Like you name it, it got delayed. That's also because of Cyberpunk. We'll get to that later, But yeah, it's like I can't think of a major game that was not delayed. Like I think Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe,
Yeah.
But all of God of War, Horizon, Halo, even though that was delayed last year. But like and then we've gotten so many delays now. Everything's in February, at the end of the fiscal year. So that's definitely been like one of the big stories right there. The delays, and it's all tied together because remember last year we didn't really get the many days because those games were already in development. Right now we're feeling the real brunt of the Rona. We're really feeling it. People in studios or whatever trying to work from home, and somebody in the industry explained it to me. It's like you can't just like go to your to the next guy over you with a USB stick. You got to fucking send like gigs and gigs of data over the internet. Sometimes motherfuckers won't get it. Some shit may happen. So it's just delayed everything, man. And I think it's going to keep going like this for a while too.
They would have to invest in, on a service system if they, for remote access, all kinds of things. And then also leaving, having that door open also opens their game to be, their system to be hacked into.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened more widely,
Well, there is also a specific company that we will be talking about that had also had that happen as well.
Uh-oh. Yes. Yeah, no, but you're right about that. Go ahead.
Well, just to be clear, and I think Chris and Brian can attest to this. I'm pretty sure all of these companies have their source code and all that information stored in the cloud, through GitHub or through anything like that. I'm pretty sure all of those companies do it. We do it in my job, but yeah, it's a fairly popular thing to do. I guess that's why it's hard sometimes. Sometimes open source software, and this isn't open source software, but open source software is sometimes the most secure because everyone knows how it looks like. So it's like people develop it in a way where
and there's always somebody that'll catch something if they say there's a vulnerability. There's always somebody that'll jump in like, hey, look, I caught this issue, fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody wants it to
work
out.
With that said, and man, I'm glad you brought this up. Both EA and CD Projekt Red were hacked this year.
Yep. And this is during the time that they were all not in the office. So
So it's nuts, man. All right, go ahead.
Wasn't Elden Ring also delayed?
The Elden Ring was delayed. Like again, you name it, it was delayed.
the Cyberpunk next gen ports.
Yep, I got delayed. I got delayed. Like you name it, it got delayed.
Yeah.
All the PlayStation.
Ninja Turtles. God damn, everything.
The Ninja Turtles. Yep. Games big and small. So, and again, just like the chip shortage, I think that's going to be going on for a while too. Everybody's
got to get back into the gear again. That's what it is. That's the problem.
It's more about
And
finding
how-
a new gear, because this is the world we live in now.
Yeah, yeah. There's getting back in gear, finding a new gear. What is it? Especially in a world where people are afraid to even go into a job because
Yeah,
of this. There's some people that they want to go back to work, and then there's others that are just like, I don't want to ever go out again.
yeah,
You
exactly.
know.
Yeah. Anyway, but again, we'll probably circle back to that a little bit. Manny, what do you have?
Well, the biggest one, the continuation of the saga of Cyberpunk.
Yes, let's just get right into it. Cyberpunk.
Early this year was one of the big ones where they released that one, the I'm sorry video
Yeah.
with what's his face, the lead at CD Projekt Red with his sad face, telling us he's in a sideways sort of way. They're sorry about what happened. you know, Again, we all said this. It was just not ready, and they knew it. And the programmers probably told them that it wasn't ready, and it's just the continuation. At this point, it's just like, what else is next? I mean, literally, we talked about, we kind of touched on it before. They not only got ransomware, they literally had all of their data stolen. And they paid that off, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's like, what else is going to happen? And we're still not seeing any sort of improvements in it. They're talking about, yes, we're going to be working on the next one. Really?
Yeah, they already started jumping on that. And it's funny, like Cyberpunk was the story that kept on going. I don't think there was a single month this year where we didn't talk about Cyberpunk because there was always something happening. That was one of the stories they were talking about. Oh, we're getting ready for our next game or whatever. It's like, you haven't even finished the last one.
Yeah,
man.
it's still going because we're supposed to early next year, we're supposed to get the next gen upgrade.
We were supposed to get it this year.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So yeah, this shit keeps going. And then tonight, again, breaking news, people, with this game.
Oh,
they finally settled their lawsuit because remember, a bunch of investors sued them. Because they didn't get the product they were promised. So they settled out of court. I think they paid like $1.83 million, not billion, $1 million. So, again, it just keeps on going, man, with this game. And I remember they did a blog post like, oh, you got to give us more time because it's very hard to finish a game that's already released. I'm like, maybe you shouldn't have released it in the first place. How about that? Yeah. You were still making. Not only were you making money off The Witcher, come on, guys, like you were making money off all these other shits. Like you didn't need to release this game right now, or last year, I should say. The thing is, I don't even think it's ready now, man. Even though they did come out with a report, they were like, oh, we feel the game's in a acceptable state. All right,
depending on your console.
You mean acceptable state on PC, maybe. The only place that actually runs okay, but on consoles, trying to play that shit on PS4. They had to do a patch where they basically removed everything from the environment to get it to run okay on PS4. Again, I said this before. I'll maintain. Actually, I've been justified. It's like the game shouldn't have been released on last gen at all. It's clear now.
It should have been a PC and the next gen later.
Yeah.
Kind of deal.
But again, what it was is it's the same situation that's going on. It's them having their cake, wanting to have their cake and eat it. We're in the transition phase of one console to one console. We were in the transition of one console phase to another. You have all these PlayStations out there. The top PlayStation 4 is the top selling console of that generation, and you're telling me that they're not going to put it on there?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean. Granted, obviously they needed to do more work on the previous generations, or they should have never made that promise that game was ever going to be released on a PlayStation 4.
They should have been like
Xbox.
Sony, like, listen, we know we promised you Last Guardian on PS3, but that ain't happening. You're getting on PS4. They should have just been like, hey, listen, we know we promised you PS4 version, but this shit ain't happening. It's like trying to pour a gallon into an 8-ounce cup where you're getting this shit on PS5.
But I mean, the thing about it, like for Last Guardian, it's still like a closed situation, right? It's an exclusive game that will only be on PlayStation consoles.
Yeah.
So they can easily make a decision like that. All right, we're just going to put that on the 4.
Or you know
But
what they
for
could have
a
done? They could have just been like, "Listen, you're getting this shit on PC for now, and we'll get your consoles later." The game actually still sold better on PC. That's a viable option. They could have done that. You know?
Oh no, I mean, in general, CD Projekt Red is a PC developer.
Yeah.
That's what they've originally started as.
Who
So, yeah,
paid for
they
all the
should have
advertising? That's who they would have to really bend the knee to. Who was it? I don't
Well,
remember if it was Sony or Microsoft that had all the the
Oh, the
logos.
exclusivity deal.
Yeah,
I
for the
forgot who had
logos.
it. I forgot who had it.
Yeah, because
yeah, I don't know.
whoever that company is, that's
You
the
know,
one that would require the.
I mean, granted, this happened last year, but remember, it's like the first time in history Sony pulled a game like this thing is fucked up. We don't want it in our store. Life of Black Tiger was never pulled off. You know.
No, and
So
that's probably in a worse state than Cyberpunk is.
Yeah.
Or maybe it isn't. Maybe
Maybe.
it isn't in a worse state. Maybe it actually runs.
Yeah, so Cyberpunk, that was an ongoing story, and I believe it'll probably still be ongoing into next year, dude. It just it never ends, man. It's always a mess, you know. All right, Chris, what do you have?
Well, I was thinking of what else happened this year besides you brought up the major ones. I remember that Epic sued Apple.
Yeah, that's right. That finally
yeah.
kind of ended again today, but nobody came away happy. But for now, at least, you know, Apple, you can't pay, you can't use a third party, you know, means of paying for things on Apple at the moment, you know. So Apple kind of won that because that was their whole deal, you know. They didn't want you going to a third party to pay for something on their store, you know.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
But they did lose on that. The game devs can create a third party store outside
Yes.
of it, so you can sell your own items outside of Apple. But they lost on everything else. Like Fortnite is still not carried on Apple's store. You know, the courts didn't rule in their favor on that. So in the end, all that money, you know, on that feud really didn't amount to anything.
Yeah, no, it really didn't. And again, it was, you know, because it started last year, I believe, right? Tail end last year. It was like seeing these two entities fighting, and you don't want to root for either. You know, like you don't want to root for Apple, you don't want to root for Epic. And I don't ultimately know who's. I mean, I guess Apple won, but I don't know. Very strange thing, but yeah, it kind of came to a head. It's still not technically over because Apple again they want to like they put a freeze on the mandate because the judge said no, you got to allow third party payment. But Apple put a cease on that or whatever for I believe it's 90 days or some shit like that. By the way, insider baseball shit. I wrote this story and I wrote it and I at the end of it I was talking to my boss. I'm like, yo, did this come out right? I don't know what the fuck I just wrote. You know, I kind of just let my journalistic powers take over because I'm like, I don't know any of this lawyer shit, man. This is too much, you know.
Yo, man, you got a lawyer friend.
Yeah, I do. I got two of them, you know. I should have had them write the story.
Well, I mean, they're also in a different section of
yeah, they
law.
do insurance. Yeah,
they do insurance and stuff like that. That's a totally different world than than rights and and stuff like that. You know, payments and all that other stuff. They have specific lawyers for that shit.
Yeah, exactly. All right, yeah, that was a good pick. All right, Brian, what you got?
I have something slightly on the brighter side of things, since everyone wants to go on like depressing news. Yes, I want to talk more about the Steam Deck.
Let's fucking go, son. Let's
go. Brian, it's good and bad too.
The thing that just came from nowhere and just swept the world. You know, like no one expected this thing to even exist, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, like Valve's making a Switch, but good. And then everyone's like, well, that's pretty much the whole gist of it. Like, hey, it's a Switch, but it's good. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, and here it is. And they actually have a reasonable way to pre-order the damn thing, rather than you having to like spend 5 hours just like finding a website and refreshing it for like 10 days. Like, no, it's like you wait in the queue, you know, you can use your login to like be in the queue and it looks at your history, you know, like makes sense to like try and stop the scalping, unlike everyone else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, no, Steam Deck definitely hype. I'm glad you brought it up. I actually have it like right here on my list. Like, I hope these motherfuckers better talk about Steam Deck.
Yo, man, you said I have it right here. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no, I have it on my list. I have it on my list, man. But yeah, but again, you know, just to bring a sour note, we're gonna have to wait 2 extra months to get our shit. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I didn't even bother bringing it up, because I was like, oh yeah, that's a big news. But we got other issues and we still don't know.
Yeah, but the fact that it exists is cool. You know, we definitely have to talk about Steam. That was one of the most hyped things. And like, you know, people are already saying in the chat, it's the Switch, you know, it's a Switch Pro we wanted, you know. I think we've been asking for the big boy handheld, you know. So that's a good pick. All right, let's do another round here. Adam, you have another one?
I got one that came out 2 days ago.
Ubisoft
Splinter Cell, finally.
We got to talk about that.
We've been talking about this for years, hoping like they're making all these other bullshit games besides The Division. That's about a game, but all the other ones, we're like, what the fuck? Who cares about these games? Where's Splinter Cell? Bring back Splinter Cell. They'll put a little bit in Wildlands. Remember, you had that little story part.
They've been teasing us, man.
They throw some, even in the Division, in fact, even in Division, they put the goggles and the whole Sam Fisher outfit. I'm like, oh, that's nice, but why? I don't understand. Everyone wants this. And then 2 days ago, we finally get the announcement that they are making a full-fledged version, not some mobile shit. It's going to be a full-fledged Splinter Cell. I think the rumor was that they sort of said it was going to be a remake.
No, there was not a rumor. You know, this is official, by the way. Like, it actually came out. So this is going to be a remake of the original game, right?
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
So you know, the way they said it, I think it's going to be in the vein of Resident Evil 2 and 3 remake. You know, where they said it's going to be the core game, but just with modern aesthetics and all that other stuff.
Like that.
You know, modern controls, all that other good stuff. And I love how they specifically said this will be a linear game. This will not be open world, because people were like, "This is Ubisoft," you know. But the ironic thing is,
the first one didn't have that.
You know, ironic thing is, people were like, "Oh, they're going to turn this fucking game into an NFT," because that happened earlier this week too. Ubisoft was like, "We got NFTs now," you know. That's something else that kind of was tangential to games, like the metaverse and all that bullshit, you know. But Splinter Cell coming back, very happy. You know, I jumped on that story. I was like, "Yo, I'm writing this fucking story." You know, I was hyped. You know, so that's a good one. All right, I'll go.
We have some choice words to say about that. Like, I understand everyone's hyped. I understand everyone's excited. But the first thing that came to my mind is this is coming from the same parent company that still has not done anything with Beyond Good and Evil 2. And that's been in the works for God knows how long. And also the same parent company who's handling the remake of Prince of Persia.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, you're right.
Those are the two things that hurt me the most out of the whole story. Because again, I was the same as you guys. Like, yes, Splinter Cell remake, that's fine. And it's like, wait, it's Ubisoft, and they're on some bullshit right now. So I don't know if I can trust them.
Brian, I'm gonna throw another one at you, man. Same company that has not released Skull and Bones yet.
Yep, that too.
Oh, shout out to Brett.
Yeah, but there's other developers. It's not so much just the publisher's fault. There's other issues going on with the developers. So poor developers. That's all I can say.
My whole thing is I'm excited because I hope this remake spurs them to do more Splinter Cell games. Like, I still want a fucking Blacklist 2. That game was awesome, you know? So I want them to, you know, go back to that. I doubt they will, but it'd be good if they do that.
Sales.
Yeah, exactly.
That works.
Yeah, man, you got another one?
Oh, jeez.
Because if you don't, I got one.
All right. I give it to you.
Yeah. Here's the thing about this story. Carlos, I'm going to let you speak more about it because I think this is like more your story, but I got to bring it up. Game stonks, man. That happened this year.
Oh, shit. That's right.
You know, that got Carlos heavily into investing, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's the story of the short squeeze. It's the biggest short squeeze of our generation, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, GameStop was a stock that was dying. It was going down. I think it was in the single digits.
Yeah.
It was going down, and a lot of companies were short selling it. meaning that they were betting that the stock would go even down, or even the
Yeah,
price would
further.
go,
Yeah.
get even lower, and then buy back and then make money off of it, a shit ton of profits. It was like I don't know if it was the most heavily shorted stock, but it was at the top. And yeah, the people got the
The
people
people.
got together, and they started buying the stock like crazy, started blowing the price up. The short sellers were going crazy. They started a lot of those people started buying the stock or starting buying back the stock, because they're like, we don't want to pay this hefty premium if it keeps going up. So all of that was a snowball effect, and it just blew the price up of GameStop stock. So GameStop is a dying company. It probably gave it 5 more years of
Yeah,
life. This whole
exactly.
thing. Reggie Fils-Aimé is probably, he's probably in the Maldives, living there permanently now. It's like all of these, like this perfect storm of stuff came into effect for GameStop and its stock, and it blew up the company. Not because GameStop did anything, not
Yeah.
because their business practices were exciting people. It became a meme, and it's a new terminology now when it comes to the investing world. It's called the meme stock.
Yeah.
So it all has to do with momentum and the meme. So it happened with AMC. It's happening with a couple of other stocks more recently, but yeah, GameStop was the original. There was controversy, in particular with brokerages like Robinhood and
Oh man, yeah.
Webull, where
Yeah.
you couldn't buy the stock because they stopped. Those are pay for order flow type companies where they kind of control third party control the assets that they buy it from, and they couldn't buy GameStop stocks. And there's this whole rigmarole stuff where there's companies that were shorting the stock, that were part of the parent companies that were supplying these stocks. But that's just a whole other thing, and it's that other people can explain it better. But GameStop is probably, and we were talking about, sometimes when there's big news in the gaming industry, it's huge news for gamers.
Yeah, this was
This was huge
everywhere.
news
Yeah.
in the world. It's crazy, man. It's probably the gaming story of the year, to be honest.
Yeah.
For everyone. Obviously, for us, it doesn't mean as much because it doesn't affect games per se.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a huge story, man. It's crazy, and it got a lot. And I guess this is the moral of the story. It got a lot of people into investing,
Yeah.
myself included. It's like it's an opportunity. It forced me to learn a lot of stuff that I didn't know. So yeah, it was an important moment in gaming that I'll probably never forget.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
2021, man.
Yeah. Chris, I know you got some thoughts on game stocks, don't you?
Well, I think when that happened, it just revealed that the idea of stock trading being completely free market is
Yeah,
bogus,
it's
because
bullshit. Yeah.
they halted trading on GameStop twice. They froze, like Carlos said, Robinhood froze people from either purchasing more or selling their shares. And the was it is it traded on Nasdaq, or is it NYSE?
I
Carlos, do you
think
remember?
I think it is Nasdaq. I'll take a look real quick.
Yeah, but Nasdaq halted trading for the day because it was
Oh no,
blowing
New
up.
York Stock Exchange. New York
Oh,
Stock
it's
Exchange.
NYSE.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah.
but either way, yeah, either way, they halted trading on it when it was going up, when it was gonna cap above like $430 a share. They stopped it, and it's like that's not how the market's supposed to work. If the stock's high, it's supposed to let it rise, like it's supposed to rise and fall, but they just
Mhm.
stopped it, and they said, oh, it was it was gonna create a problem. I'm like, no, 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 no. That's not how that's supposed to work. If
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna create a problem.
Yeah, it's
You
gonna make
guys, yeah.
billionaires lose
for
their money.
fucking
You
people
Well,
know.
yeah,
over.
it was the guys who were trying to short it were getting screwed. The billionaires who were trying to short it, yeah, they were getting screwed by a bunch of redditors. So that's why they halted it. So I think that it was amazing that it's like and I'm like, I always rail on GameStop. They're still a shitty company.
You know.
I don't like them, but their stock was the thing that revealed like all the flaws in the market, and how like that a little guy got together and tried to do what the big sharks do, and blow up a stock, and then but then the the powers everywhere. No, you don't. You ain't gonna make money off
Yeah.
this.
You
Only we can make money off this.
you had these like billionaires on like Fox Business or whatever crying
Oh,
like
they were
this is
flipping
an
out.
attack on rich people. Like, all right, bruh. Oh
Yeah,
man.
You number one, it's like you think that this is the thing in general. The stock market is a game. It's a gambling game,
Yeah.
and you think if you're gonna start throw it all in, that you're not gonna get something that comes back. Yeah, it didn't happen before when people weren't wise to this bullshit, but it's been happening for years. So many
Yeah.
companies have fallen because of this same shit. What happened to Toys R Us? The Toys R Us was exactly the same exact thing that was happening to GameStop happened to Toys R Us, and they
Coming
were
back.
owned by
Coming back.
yeah,
Because
in a
they
way. I mean,
didn't. Because apparently I
it's
didn't
still
know this.
it's
They
still in
only-
Canada.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's
But,
still in Canada, all the big box, but they said they're planning on bringing them to the States, but they're going to be more like KB Toys. Remember the smaller ones in
Yeah,
malls?
they're gonna do
not
small
gonna be,
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
Well,
going to do
They
that.
they got a layaway plan.
Maybe.
The reason
They used to.
the
They
reason
used to.
when that company got taken over by one of those I can't remember what the type of company it is, but what they
Venture
did was
capitals.
their venture capital, what they did was they refused to essentially downsize the company to try to make the company profitable again. So they had these big ass stores with that, a bunch of stock that weren't moving anything because of just they weren't taking advantage of this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So until the company fell, and then once it all fell apart and everything got sold off, that's when the guys who originally owned Toys R Us created a new Toys R Us company, and then bought back a lot of the stuff. But yeah, it's
Toys R Us. KB Toys. What happened to KB? KB was all right. It's small, but
I
still.
mean,
Is it KB the one with the
KB
giraffe, or is that
KB
Toys R Us too?
no, Toys R Us is
That's
draft.
Toys R Us.
No, KB was the kangaroo or some shit like that, right? Like, what was their
Yeah, it was
mascot?
the
It was
kangaroo.
something like that. Yeah, it was some weird little like fluffy
Like
things.
the
But
yellow fucking thing.
it was either a nutcracker or
Yeah,
a kangaroo. I
was-
can't remember.
They
Yeah,
kept changing ownership, and that was the problem. Like when it got sold off in the mid 2000s, I think those last guys they faulted on some loans or something. It started just to decline, but the original owners like it didn't have the original owners since like the 80s.
Oh wow.
And it just started getting sold off to different companies, and they just started making bad moves, and that's how it fell apart.
Yeah.
By the way,
Go ahead.
just for a little bit of perspective with GameStop, at the beginning of the year, their market cap was $1.3 billion. So they were worth $1.3 billion.
Yeah.
And they're probably going down. As of today, they're worth estimatedly 11.06 billion.
Damn.
Well,
So they went
Chewy
up
bought
10
them. Remember the Chewy?
They didn't buy them.
food
The
place.
C,
Didn't buy
the
them?
CEOs of Chewy became the CEO, or like I think one of the CEOs became the CEO of GameStop.
Yeah, but they definitely changed. If you go to their website now, you can get monitors, you can get video cards.
Yeah, they changed the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you can get all kinds of goodies there now. So
That shit is wild. All right, Manny, I got one for you. I'll let you take the lead on this. Abandon.
Blue box.
Blue box abandon, all
box.
that shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hassan, bruh.
Yeah,
I want to believe.
Which-
Remember that shit? Motherfuckers believing that shit was a Konami, man. Or Kojima,
Well, I mean,
you know?
Again, like nobody goes. I have to say that's a first. Literally making believe that you're another game developer. Essentially leaving cheesy clues to make people think that you're an alternate company, that you're a company or the subsidiary of this thing, and every single time they keep releasing shit that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, and then the
It's-
funny thing is, like, because somebody dug them up, they've been doing this for like 6 years. They promise a game that never comes out. So when people saw that, like, okay, this shit's never coming, and that's that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and again, they have like they played on that they played that Kojima button, in not so many words, and then they let people assume it, and then it just literally shot them in the foot. Like, number one, if you're gonna play that game, you better fucking deliver, because that's some shit, right? If you're gonna invoke the name of somebody that's well known, you better be on the ball. If you're trying to be that.
Yeah,
But
because they were
game never
teasing
came
like,
out,
oh,
right?
we got no, the game is never
No,
going to
they
come
had
out. You know,
they had
the
this
playable
silly,
demo or
like,
whatever.
the playable app demo thing, which didn't work. It's still delayed. They can't get their shit together.
It
All they
wasn't
are doing,
playable.
like, it's not really. It just shows you like a couple of seconds of footage, and then that's it. And I mean, they're still like saying that, oh, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this.
All right,
I
bro.
think, people just need to just look away, because if this is sounding more and more like just like a weird sort of rope it on. Then a big other thing is like, how do you fucking fail so many times and change your company name so many goddamn times? Who the fuck is paying for this shit?
I think this dude's independently wealthy. He has to be.
I think he's independent. I think he's independently wealthy, and I think he really wants to make a game, but he doesn't know the first thing or have anybody in there at his studio. They say he's got professionals there, but if you have if you have a Mark running the company, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah,
You know.
but yeah, the long standing conspiracy theories. People were just looking everywhere for these clues. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they were. I mean, things got so crazy as they were saying, "Oh, the Hassan that you saw in videos was a computer generated character." Like people were going
Yeah,
insane
yes.
with these theories. But again, it was. A lot of it was fueled by them, by Blue Box. They were tossing all this stuff out. You know, it's
Yeah,
like, oh, we got a game with SNH. You know, all this other shit. Like they knew
Yeah.
what they were doing, you know. They knew exactly what they were doing, but it blew up in their face. And then when people, like you said, saw the rope a dope, they're like, all right, fuck you guys, we don't care anymore, you know.
Yeah.
It looks
And
like
then right now, where are all these
That's
guys?
it, they're done.
Just
it
Well,
looks like
here's the thing. Sorry, just cut in. So I was looking up some news on them just to find out like what the hell is going on. And this news dropped last week, I
Whoa.
believe, the 8th of December. Um, they have said that they are excited to announce a prologue chapter releasing Q1 2022.
All right, fuck these
And
guys, man.
and they said that a date will be announced shortly, so stay tuned. And there's
like
also
last time.
rumors that this prologue chapter will include trophies as well.
All right, I'll believe it when I
So,
see it.
So they
so
just
They
had a
could
bunch
bar-
of
Thanks for
could-
telling
they
us
could-
that, Brian. Thanks for
they
telling us.
could
We didn't know
they
that.
could barely launch an app, and they somehow can they're somehow able to do this a playable some sort of playable game now. Come on.
some sort of playable teaser,
Yeah,
you could say.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, these guys are full of shit. That game's never coming. You know, again, this is like their fifth title that they've just like that's gonna meet an untimely end. Or unceremonious end, I should say. All right, Chris, I'm throwing one at you, man.
yo man, you got them for everyone.
I do, man. Remember, like the beginning of this year. Oh yeah, we're gonna get that Switch Pro. We're gonna get that Switch Pro. It turned out to be this piece of shit OLED, and you were the one that called it. You were like, we were probably gonna get the Pro. They weren't ready for it, so they threw this shit instead. You know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think going back to you guys mentioned chip shortages and all this stuff. Everybody's fighting for resources, including all the manufacturers like Apple, Nvidia, all these guys are trying to make products. They can't all make them, and then the guys who aren't willing to, I don't know, throw money at China or whatever to get more fabs or more resources are not going to get it. And who has the least amount of money out of the big three? It's
Yeah,
Nintendo. I
Nintendo,
mean,
yeah. Despite
So
what the
they're gonna-
fanboys say.
right? Yeah.
They have the nest egg, as they
Oh,
believe.
the war chest. That was
The
bullshit.
war chest. There you go.
And they, so they had the most to lose. So what happened? Well, they were probably going to have two SKUs ready. They couldn't do it. They released the LED version, and I brought out that theory back. I mentioned it on Throwdown, and then I was kind of proven right, because when people took apart the dock, they realized the dock had 4K output.
Yep, that's right.
The dock's capable of 4K output, but the OLED system is the same fucking system except with a different screen and a bigger kickstand. So what do you need 4K output for? Because it was supposed to be for the Switch Pro, which should have launched at the same time. And this OLED system would have replaced the Switch that we have now. They would have gotten rid of that. There would have been the OLED system would have just been a refresh, and then you have the Switch Pro, and that didn't happen. And they got called out by Bloomberg.
Yeah.
Bloomberg got a bunch of devs said, yes, we got 4K dev kits. And Nintendo quickly came out to deny it, which just made them
Very
look
quickly.
worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a stupid move because investors went, what do you mean you don't have a 4K system in the works? And then Carlos knows that lady here who invest in like kind of the innovation investors.
Kathy
I forgot
Wood.
her group's name. Huh?
Kathy Wood.
Yeah.
And Ark
Yeah,
Invest.
she sold all her shares in Nintendo. I mean, the stocks is plummeting, and again, Carlos would know. I mean, he had Nintendo stock. It was just
Dead
trailing
weight.
downward.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dead weight. It's still dropping.
Shout out to Nintendo though. I dropped that stock like a few months ago. I still got their dividend today actually.
Hey.
But yeah, that was it was a huge blunder to even comment on Bloomberg's reporting because Bloomberg didn't pull it. Like that was an amazing thing. That's where they start to look bad. Bloomberg didn't put it. As a matter of fact, they doubled down on it. They corrected the article. Only that one developer was not accurate, but they had 12 sources. Right? To tell
Yeah.
them that they were so that was the only correction they made, and then Nintendo went and flat out denied it. That only made them look worse to investors because who's reading Bloomberg? It's not just for us as business people read it. Investors read Bloomberg, right? So then you lost the confidence of your investors. Like you don't look like you're innovating. You look like you're resting on your laurels. So they pull their money out. So that ended up looking bad for them. And yeah, the Switch Pro is gonna come. Like it was supposed to. It's not gonna happen. Probably, hopefully for them, holiday next year, because it doesn't look like they have too much going on. Because you had, I swear, if you look through YouTube before the Game Awards, look at the last couple weeks, every fanboy was saying that there was going to be Breath of the Wild 2 announcement trailer, whatever, at the Game Awards.
That's right.
And they took that cryptic tweet from Jeff Keighley where he said, "Oh, I've been working with a major announcement with some developer that's been in the works for 2.5 years," and they all went 2.5 years. That's how long the trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 came out. So it's got to be that. And they were swearing up and down. And what happened? Nintendo didn't even show jack shit. They didn't show nothing.
Nothing, man. That's crazy. But yeah, that was a big one just because of the fail, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
And not only that, but they had to. I stepped away for like 2 minutes, but I don't know if Chris mentioned this, but remember that they announced that rumor where they were supposed to announce the Switch Pro, and they were like, no Switch Pro, no Switch Pro, no Switch Pro.
Yeah, Chris brought that up, but again, just how fast Nintendo came out. They don't usually do that, you know? Like, and the one time they did do it, it proved it because they were trying to cover their asses. Of course, what was that instance? Where, like, Nintendo shot down a quote-unquote rumor that actually turned out to be real?
Wait, I mentioned the Bloomberg thing. Is that what you're talking about?
No. I think it was a.
We're talking about before that. Okay, so remember when the Bloomberg thing happened this year, and Chris, you brought this up. Like Nintendo did this same tactic years ago, where somebody came up, like found a rumor report, and Nintendo quickly shot it down, and it turned out to be real. And you said whenever, it just happened a while ago. Yeah.
It was two instances. One was the 3DS XL.
Yeah, there you go.
There was reporting in game journalists reported that the LL, that they call it that in Japan, was going to come to North America, and they quickly denied it. They said there's no plans to bring this new SKU of 3DS to America. And then it was like it wasn't even a month. It was like 2 weeks or a week later.
Yeah,
the XL got announced.
I remember the other one. Remember what they said? Reports came out. Oh, they're going to stop production of the Wii U. Nintendo was like, no, we're not going to stop production. They stopped production.
Yes, and I called that out. Yep. When the Famitsu article came out, we talked about it, and Kimishima himself said that
don't trust Kimishima.
Continue supporting the Wii U well into the future. And I said, don't believe this man. They're going to end that production, and I said they were going to end it that year. The year we did that show, I said
Yep.
they're going to end production of Wii. And what did they do? The end of that year, they said Wii U production stopping.
Yeah.
They're
So
fucking full of shit.
yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Anytime Nintendo shoots on a rumor, it's true. The rumor is true. You know, as history has shown. All right, man. Let's see. Brian, you got anything else?
Yes. Just to go on the idea of the leaking and hacking type idea. When Twitch got hacked,
Oh, that's
and
right.
and all dirty laundry was aired out to the world to see, and there wasn't like the thing that struck me is that it wasn't just like a usual hack where they go in, they get the user info, so the addresses, names, and whatnot of all the people that work there or something. Like that's like that's like a standard hack. No, this like they went in and stole everything, like source code, documentation, like pretty much you could make your own Twitch now if you just find whatever files are in there and just do it because everything is there, and it was just like wow. And also we got to learn how much money these assholes make, and some of them are a lot richer than we think.
Yeah, like when you see how much money they make, it's like holy shit. You know, it is bananas. You know.
I wonder how many people that watch this show is like, yo, how much Throwdown make? They
Yeah,
making
right.
millions.
Yeah, no, you. The thing is, you could literally find out how much we make, you know, because of this hack. It's like less than $100 a year, you know. But
we rolling in that dough,
yeah, right?
son.
Yeah. Logic wins. This is interesting. He goes. A funny thing about the Twitch hack is that there was no blowback. That's true. It happened and it just went away.
Well, we don't know.
Well, the people that
could
were
just be a delayed reaction.
Yeah, but no, but I'm talking about like public reaction.
Yeah.
Like it was in the zeitgeist for a little bit and then it just went away.
well, because remember the people that stream and do all this stuff, they were going to be impacted from this.
Yeah.
They don't want people hearing this shit, so they don't want that dirty laundry. Because then, if it's not their information, it's people that they are close with or contacts of theirs, and so they're going to push it under the rug.
Yeah. By the way, did this hack reveal what really happened with Doctor Disrespect? 'Cause there was some controversy
No.
going on with that.
No,
you know?
but he's suing them. It's gonna come out eventually.
Yeah.
What happened to him?
Yeah,
But, yeah, no.
I guess
Yeah.
he got canned by Twitch, and I guess no one figured out why.
Yeah, nobody
It
knows.
was weird.
Because he didn't violate anything, or you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't do anything wrong, at least on the face of it. So it's
Yeah.
like I think we speculate on it's like maybe he took a deal he wasn't supposed to, or whatever, you know. But we don't know yet, so I guess that's still ongoing. Anybody else have anything else?
There's a lot of stuff. I mean, do you guys want to talk about Stadia closing down all?
I was
first-party
I was
studios?
going to bring that up next because I still got a couple little things here. Yeah, Stadia, that's a big fail. They close all the first party shit. You know, so they're just like a service. And again, sorry, John Christ, it's the worst streaming service out there. You know, out of all of them, it's the worst. It is $60 for a
Well,
stream
Nintendo's
game.
the worst.
No, yeah, that is pretty bad. But at least you could still buy games, real games, off of that. Like Stadia, it's
That's
like,
true.
yeah, I don't know, man, but yeah, that was a big fail for sure. What do you have to say about that, Carlos?
It's just the fact that Stadia, it's backed by Google.
Yeah.
They got a lot of money to support things, and they didn't even release a game, man. They didn't release a game. They released
to that
Even
point.
Amazon released it. By the way, we that's another little side thing. Amazon released its first game and literally canned it like a month later. You know, it was hilarious. I reviewed this. I forget the name of the fucking game, but I reviewed the game, and then literally 2 weeks later, my review was effectively null and void because they slashed half the features, and then 2 months after that, they killed the game. It was fucking hilarious. You know.
Oh, we knew there was that situation was already sort of suspect. It was like, really, Amazon? You think you can jump in the gaming market? You think you can throw a bunch of money at something and actually have it work? That's not how it works.
Yeah, and Carlos, speaking about the Netflix, they're jumping into that shit now. Gaming. So
They have had games on their thing,
but this is a concerted effort this time around.
I mean, the Bandersnatch thing and the Minecraft thing. These were concerted efforts because they were attached to things that were popular on their platform. now they're overtly saying,
Yeah.
as opposed to just like, hey, look, it's an experience.
Yeah, it's a Netflix games, I believe it's called. So, yeah,
Okay.
that's something for sure. Couple things here, Manny. I know we talked about this. You found this interesting. Sony, shut down PS3, PSP, and Vita stores.
Well, no, the Vita store is still around.
That's still around,
The
right? But,
PS,
yeah.
the PSP is gone forever. Well, how it
That's tied
started.
into another story that we're going to talk about.
How it started was because they wanted to close down all the stores, and they
Yeah.
just literally did. They literally only gave a few months when they were going to close these things down, and then the gaming community said, "What the fuck, really? You're not even giving us any time on this." And then they flipped it around. So they were going to close down the PlayStation 3 store, the Vita store, as well as the PSP store. Now it is that they closed down the PSP store, but all the PSP games are all backward compatible on the Vita, so they're in the Vita store. And then the PlayStation 3 store still has everything. But what they did is they made this a lot more difficult. You can't actually use your credit card on a PlayStation 3 to put money on there. You have to either use the old card system or use the website to put money on there, but you can't do any of that stuff on the actual PlayStation 3 or the Vita.
That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess semi-related, something that we've been talking about for years is finally happening. Sony is finally merging PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus into one service. That's finally
that's right.
happening.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
That's what you should have did, you motherfuckers. You could have. Number one, the problem is, it's like this. The writing was literally on the wall of this system, but nobody at their fucking company was willing to do this shit because they were waiting. Because they're probably like, oh well, we're working right now. We're not going to reinvent the wheel or anything like that. We'll just do it this way. No, you could have literally. They could have done this at the PS3 era. If they combined PlayStation Now, because PlayStation Now is old enough to exist on the PlayStation 3, could have did it then, had that platform, you get a certain amount of games or whatever you want to do on there, do that streaming platform, people would have jumped on that shit.
Yeah.
They had it all waiting for them right there. They just, like always, like the way Sony always does, they literally, it's a toe dip, and then they'll, and if it doesn't work, they'll just pull it out. That's it. It's too cold.
Just a tip. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Yeah, just a tip. They shiver a little bit and they run away.
Oh man.
Like Manny's mentioned, we've been talking about this for feels like decades at this point, but freaking, to even back to the days when PS View was still a thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep. We said it then. We said, why isn't the TV service? Why isn't the streaming service all connected under one umbrella? You play one amount and you get it all. It took Microsoft to do that, for them to say, "Oh wait, yeah, we do have that."
I mean, even Game Pass is called Game Pass Ultimate, but Game Pass Ultimate doesn't even have a TV streaming service. It's like PlayStation, man. I swear. And not only that, they got Crunchyroll, they got Funimation.
Yeah.
Like, why don't they put this all in one box and just, you can have the separate tiers, but have one all under one umbrella. Make it an ecosystem.
You're right. Now you mention it, because this new service, I think they're still just going to call it PlayStation Plus. It has these tiers. I didn't see any mention of TV services at all in this. Mm-hmm. So they're still going to have this separate thing. So it's like, come on, guys.
They canned PS View. PS View,
yeah,
I think was like last year that they shut that thing.
It wasn't working out for them because it was like, they let you piecemeal your cable stations, But the thing about it is that PS View didn't have a set price. I think it had, like, you had to, when you piecemealed all your different channels, mm-hmm. It eventually each one cost a different amount of money, or something like that.
Well, it was akin to YouTube TV and Sling TV and all, and Fubo TV. Like, it's like all that kind of stuff. But man, it's upsetting, man, because I wouldn't have mind having that type of service. Having all those things put together,
Yeah.
would have intrigued me.
Yeah, so they fucked up, you know. And then, by the way, just a quick little thing. This is the last thing I have here. This is not really big, but it's just kind of weird because nothing really came of it. That Sony bought Evo, like,
Yes.
and we're still wondering why. like what? What? You know?
I don't know. It's a weird one. It's like, okay, they bought a fighting game tournament. What are they going to do with that? It sounds like another toe dip.
Yeah, it probably
really
is.
does.
You know. Yeah. All right. Anything else you guys want to bring up?
GTA Trilogy, man. The definitive edition.
Oh
aka
man.
A
The
butter version.
the unfinitive edition.
The
The unfinished.
Yo, Rockstar said it was butter because they pulled all the other editions off the store.
This shit is so
That's right.
smooth.
That's all
It
you
is
need.
the only
Cyberpunk
edition.
edition.
Is under.
Yeah, they fucked that one up, didn't they? You know?
Man.
Yeah, that was a huge disappointment. It's like getting rid of some songs was already bad enough, but it's like these games have bugs that the originals didn't have. Like, what the fuck? Like, they don't want to even quality test this shit, you know?
They left. I mean, here's the thing: like Grove Street Games is not a huge developer.
Yeah, they're not.
So I mean, what they attempted to do was essentially reauthor the whole game using a bunch of AI upscaling stuff, which they didn't look over. They just ran it and didn't really. They only really just fixed the stuff that was on the surface. And even then, a lot of the character models don't look right. They didn't bother to fix a lot of those guys. They only really fixed Claude and a few of the other characters.
Yeah, it was
So,
still like the definitive lazy port, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's
Definitive crap
definitely-
Yeah,
edition.
it definitely feels like a cash grab.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was terrible. And again, people were hyped. I was hyped up like, let's fucking go. GTA 3, Vice City and San Andreas, with Unreal, let's go. Crap. I didn't even bother. I'm like, fuck this shit. Why waste my time with that, What a disappointment that was, man. Yeah.
Oh,
What's up?
speaking of which, and this actually reminds me, the Nvidia leak thing that happened, the
Oh,
GeForce Now
that's
leak.
right.
And then the reason why I want to talk about that is a lot of the games that they talked about have actually come to pass, including the GTA Trilogy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, and I think even like God of War on PC was there as well.
Mm-hmm. That's
it
right.
So it's quite a lot of games that just magically appearing from nowhere that were on that leak, quote unquote leak, that was fake apparently. So it's like, wow, this is exciting. So yeah, I will definitely continue to monitor it because it's just way too many that have come true to be just a coincidence.
Yeah, no, I agree. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the new stuff. A lot of stuff happened this year, despite the lockdowns and all that. But now we'll move on to some more fun stuff here. Our favorite games.
Real fun stuff.
Our favorite games of 2021. So I have everybody, pick three, but I know some guys like Manny and Brian probably have like two or one, but hey, songs that came out this year, it is all good in the hood, So we'll start with Adam. What are your three favorite games of the year?
One of them is it's a weird hybrid one because it's Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 for Switch because that came out this year.
Oh, that was this year?
Yeah, that was this year, as opposed to when when they originally ported over, it was in the other ones. Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's Guardians of the Galaxy. That was awesome. And my third one was tough. It is tough, but gonna have to go with World War Z, Aftermath, just because I like zombies.
That was this year also?
That was this year also.
Damn.
That was just a few months ago. Because remember, that came out a few months before Back for Blood.
That's right.
And that was the whole thing because of what I put and what they put in their ad that I called it like the best zombie shooter or whatever on the market at the time. And people were like, oh, but what about Back for Blood? I'm like, Back for Blood's not even outside. It's not out, sucker. What are you talking about? It's like, this is it. Yeah, it didn't even come out yet. I hate when people do that shit. It's like they talk about something that's not even out, but they swear it's the go-to. And then, as you know, when we played Back for Blood, it felt great. It brought back the good Left 4 Dead feels, but it didn't really deliver in the whole presentation of it, just with the mechanics and the cards and all that. But man, the World War Z Aftermath, that's so fun just playing it. And with the amount of zombies running at you and you just shooting and mowing them down, and then just coming with strategies. Did we play that together? I don't know if we all
No,
played
we
it
didn't.
together.
We didn't play it together. I did play it though. I did a preview. That game was crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, and it's amazing to see how that's all on screen. And then you'll see off in the distance a whole bunch of them doing one of those pile-ups against the wall, and you're like, "Oh, that must just be background animation." But then when you start shooting at them and you see them drop, you're like, "Oh shit, they're there! I'm killing them. This is amazing." It's fun. It's a party game, and that's what I keep telling people. And I was super thrilled when that got ported over to the Switch. Well, not the Aftermath part, but just World War Z. Still same thing, and you don't need online play. That also came, so those two go hand in hand. If people are looking for something fun to play on the Switch, that's a great one. So those, and then some people think, oh, that's it. Yeah, those are the ones that really stood out. Guardians of the Galaxy was fun.
Yeah, that was great. Great game.
They did such a great job. The dialogue, the constant dialogue. These fools were always talking. Even when you're not in the room, they're having a conversation. You go back, they're still talking. It's not like they pause. And then if you're gone too long, they ask, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? Why are you walking over there? What's happening?
Yeah.
They're questioning as if it's all happening in real time. It was just amazing. I really enjoyed that game.
Nice. All right, Manny, what you got?
Well, I would have to say the two games that are pretty much only played this year is Near Replicant, which is really great to finally play a decent version of that game. I mean, I still haven't fully finished it yet. I'm still slowly but surely working my way through it. And then also, I would have to say Guardians of the Galaxy was another great play. Again, still haven't fully finished it yet, but hopefully with due time I can get through both of those guys.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna keep that train going. Guardians of the Galaxy. That's my number one of the year. Game was great. I'll even say this: the game, because it was very inspired by the movies. It's better than those movies. It is. It really is, man. Yep, I said it.
That James Gunn.
Yeah,
it should always be
like
that way because it's
fucking
interactive.
yeah, yeah. No, the game was just great. And again, it worked on every level. Obviously, there was apprehension in the beginning because after Avengers, people were like, "Oh fuck, here we go," But thankfully, it was a single player game, story driven, and all that. And to me, that game is like it ticked all the boxes for me. What I want in a video game, I want cool action. I want awesome characters. I want to go to different places, and I don't want fluff. The game had like almost no fluff whatsoever, because every game I was like, oh, there's some fucking skill trees, all this bullshit. This game is just stuck with it, You could even skip some of the side stuff if you wanted. Like it was just focused on the story, and it was great. It reminded me of like the way games used to be before. It's like, oh, we got to have all this extra bullshit to fluff out the time, And any game, for me, any game I can finish in a weekend, that's good. Like, please give us more of that, So that's definitely my favorite game of the year. It's just fucking awesome, man. It just recalled the games I used to like before.
Well, dialogue choices, how you
was
make
great, man. It's like, the music, the best. I'm a metalhead, so I love the fucking soundtrack. The band they had in there, Star-Lord. They were fucking great. Yeah, and the graphics too look good. It's like, damn.
It was just, and it's no spoiler, but just from the beginning when you're waking up and you're in this room and you're looking at the CD insert and reading, and I remember doing those, especially with remember the Rob Zombie Hellbilly Deluxe. That's the last I can remember that had a shitload of info in the booklet.
Yeah, I went to like full on like mode. I'm like, Adam, I'm listening to the song and I'm reading the lyrics like I used to back in the day. I was like, yeah, But I stayed in that room for 5 minutes before I actually started the game. I was like, no, I'm listening to these fucking songs right now. I'm reading the lyrics.
That was the same. That was the same with me. Or like just looking at every little nook and cranny of his
Yeah.
room, looking at all the fun, like
I touched
actual
everything.
metal,
Yeah.
the actual metal bands, right?
Mhm.
And then mixed with the fake metal bands that they created, which have the same fonts.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, and there was some other 80s stuff. I think I saw Samantha Fox post. I'm like, all right, my man, let's go. It was fucking great. So yeah, that and again, and the game doesn't like it doesn't get to a point where you're like, oh, you understand? Like, you keeps going, it keeps ramping up, and the ending is great. It's such a fucking great game, man. And it's funny about that game. Like, everybody who's playing it is like, yo, this is dope. I was not expecting this because again, they thought it was gonna be another Avengers bullshit. So thankfully it wasn't. All right. And then it's funny because I'm talking about how I like how this game is just focused and short. My second game is fucking long, but it was great. It's a Tales of Arise, man. This series, this series used to be the Call of Duty of JRPGs, where every year you get one, and then they haven't done one for 6 years, and it did it well. It served the series great because this was like one of the best entries, really solid action RPG stuff, really cool levels you go to, and really good characters. That's always the thing with JRPGs. You got to have a really strong cast. And I really like how everybody played off each other and stuff. The fucking graphics were amazing. Like, when you zoom in, you can actually see the pencil strokes. It's like, whoa, that's cool. It's funny. There was this other game that came out, and I'm like, why didn't you just do what Tales of Arise did? Like, you're trying to do this anime style, and it just doesn't work. Meanwhile, you have this game here that does it flawlessly. That game took me a while to beat because, like, Manny, I'm like you now. Now that I got this full-time job, I can't beat games as fast.
Nah, man.
But I stuck with it, I
Not
stuck
enough
with it.
time in the day, man.
Yeah. So yeah, because I can only really play like maybe 2 hours a day now, but that game was good. I didn't go for the platinum like a lot of my other peers did, but great game. I always kept thinking about it, and it's my type of like RPG where it's like you start off kind of in the medieval world, and then you go to super high tech shit, which is always fun. And also the game was dark as fuck. I'm like, damn, this is getting heavy right now, because you see the little cartoon graphics or whatever. You don't expect much, but it's like, whoa, this is some disturbing shit going on here. I'm not gonna spoil nothing, but it's like, wow, So great game. And then my number 3 here is Ratchet and Clank, man. Rift Apart.
Whoa!
You already know, man. Obviously I'm a big fan of the series since the beginning, Manny. You know that. I got the first game on PS2, and this was the first game that made me go, oh, I have a next gen console. Like I actually have a real next gen console because don't get me wrong, I like Demon Souls. That was fucking awesome and all that, but it's like that was like the only game that made me go, whoa, these graphics are crazy. But now we had this one that's like everything, ray tracing, the animation, And it's funny with Ratchet and Clank games, every fucking game it gets stuck with the same thing. Oh, this looks like a Pixar movie. Like, yeah, same thing with this one. It looks even more so. In some instances, this game looks better than the animated Ratchet and Clank movie that came out in 2016, so it was really fun. And again, it had that nice balance of like, what the series has, the platforming, the shooting, the puzzles, the cool characters and all that, all the worlds. And also another game, I cranked it out in a weekend. I'm like, this is fucking great. I got that platinum before it was even released to the world, So I feel good about that. I want to give I think it was Hunter, right? One of our other gaming journalists. I was just like, yo, how do you get this one trophy, bruh? We're doing that behind the scenes and shit. So yeah, that game was just fucking great. And I do want to give a honorable mention. And this is a game I just beat, Metroid Dread. Oh my fucking god, that game is so good. And here's the thing, I got this like a peripheral called the M Classic. Plug that into my Switch. It looks great on my 4K. Because that was the thing, I couldn't play Switch games this year because they looked terrible on my television. On my TV.
What does it look? There you go. On
my TV. But yeah, Metroid Dread was just great. Metroid Dread reminds me of why I love those type of games, because all these fucking indie games, they're all Metroidvania games. You get sick of it, but when you play the real deal, when it hits the lips, it's so good. So great fucking game right there. All right, so those are mine. So let's move on to Chris. What are your top 3 games of the year, and an honorable mention if you want?
Okay, well, since I only played 3 games that launched this year, they're gonna be my favorite games of this year.
Yes.
So, I mean, without question, Resident Evil Village was my top one. I, I've been enjoying the resurgence kind of Capcom, and Resident Evil 7 was great. Monster Hunter, World, fantastic, but 8 was good. I'd say even though I was a little disappointed in the the kind of short chapters, right? Because they promoted it and you see this tall vampire woman, and you think that, oh, this is going to be way later in the story, and she's going to lead into something bigger. No, you kill her in like the first hour
Yeah, pretty much.
game. So, but the game itself is really good. I'd say the only, and I won't spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it, but I'd say the weakest part of the games so far is I don't like Ethan Winters
Uh-oh.
character. You know?
Ethan Winters.
Yeah, it just I don't know. He's just not as likable as like previous characters. Like he's no Leon Kennedy or Chris Redfield or any of those. Like, I don't think he stands up to those guys.
So I guess you must have liked the fact that he kept getting butchered in this game, you know?
No, I mean, I didn't want him to get brutalized. But I'm just like, dude, man, just some of his dialogue and shit. I'm like, really, bro, really?
Yeah.
They tried to make it cool. They're like, yeah, we gave you training.
Yeah, I know, I know, and he does in the fighting. Yeah, I mean, obviously he knows how to use a gun and all this stuff, but it's like it's just some of the logic. It's like, what, really? You know what's going on with you right now, man? You know you understand?
Ethan Winters.
Yeah. And then so my number 2 is Ratchet and Clank.
Yes.
Fantastic game. It ticked all the boxes. Great dialogue, great story.
Yeah.
It looked wonderful. The whole rift dynamic with going through the dimensions was excellent. It's just a beautiful game, and it's like, oh, it's a next gen game. Look at that! It's a PS5 exclusive. It was a backport or anything, and it took advantage of the system, and it looks great. Um, and then so third is one of yours is Metroid Dread.
Yes.
I love the Metroid games. I've played all the mainline games. I haven't played all the Prime games or Hunters or any of those, but all the main Metroid games. The Metroid Dread is technically Metroid 5.
Yeah.
So I played all of those, and it holds up. Just like Tony said, they added the kind of Dread comes in with the Emmy robots.
Yeah,
And
that
if
shit
they
was
get
crazy.
their hands on
Yeah.
you, yeah, you get a split second of a chance to save yourself if they do grab you. So I know the trailers made it seem like, oh, if they grab you, you're dead. No, you can't save yourself, but you have to have those reflexes like what you had when you were like 16, and I
Yeah.
don't have those reflexes. So.
You know, I need to jump in because you're right. This game made me very aware that my reflexes are not what they used to be. You know, it made me very aware of that, you know?
Yeah. So, but it was well done. The maps were constructed very, very nicely. And apparently they had been thinking about this game like something like 18 years ago.
Oh,
They had been
shit.
talking about this game, and it just only materialized now. So it's like it got shelved. So back when they had made Fusion, they were like, yeah, we should work on the next game. They had already started planning all this shit. I don't know what put the brakes on it, but it had been canned for like
Nintendo.
that long. Well, somebody there, somebody,
Nintendo. They're like, we don't
I,
believe you can't develop these games. Only Japanese people can do it.
Yeah, but Mercury Steam did it again, you know, because Samus
yeah,
Returns was fucking awesome too, you know?
yes, yes,
Officially though, this is their first fully created Metroid
Yeah,
game, as
because the other
opposed to
one,
just
yeah,
adapting a previous one.
that's right. Even
yeah.
though Samus Returns
But
had a lot of new levels, but you're right about that.
yeah,
No,
I
I
wouldn't
mean it still had the crutch of the previous the previous title.
Yeah, it followed the
You know,
storyline, but like
story.
most of the levels were like all different though, you know?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And full
And those
disclosure,
Amnes, man.
I played the Game Boy Metroid. I never finished it. I couldn't stand that game.
No,
I mean,
yeah.
I only
Metroid Zero
finished.
or what?
Well, no, it was
No,
called
no,
the Return of Samus.
Return of Samus.
Yes,
Yeah.
Return to Samus. Yeah.
So that the only way I technically finished Metroid 2 was beating Samus Returns. I didn't beat the Game Boy one. I couldn't stand it. It's just like playing Castlevania Adventure on there. I was like,
Yeah.
I hate this. Just how slow the Game Boy was. But so those are my three. My honorable mention, and shout out to Adam, is I got to sample Elden Ring. And
Ooh.
even though that
Elden
isn't
Ring.
technically, it's just the beta was open this year, and I played it, and that was my "It Touches Your Lips" feel so great, because I'm like, holy shit, they took this engine and actually made it open world, and I had a steed I was riding around, and I got to explore all these areas. Now, it was in small chunks, because they would turn on the server at only predetermined times. But the places I did explore, it's like all these different environments. I went to the shore where there's a beach and it was like sunset, and I went to this castle, and I went to these mountains. I was like, oh, look at all the places you could go. And there's even further places. I don't know. I mean, I know it's a Japanese game, and the map kind of reminds me. It's like, am I gonna expand this map and it looks like Japan, only it's not, because I saw islands to the south. I'm like, this looks familiar. It reminds me of Ghost of Tsushima. Am I in Tsushima right now?
Excuse me?
Where am I?
You're in a game called Breath of Tsushima.
Tsushima. But yeah, so I'm very excited. So that leads into a future topic we're going to talk about tonight. But that closed beta, man, that was fantastic tease for that game, man. I can't wait.
Nice. All right. Brian, what you got? Mr. Manjoma. Is he being quiet because he didn't play anything? There he is. Well, you pulled a Brett. You pulled a Brett,
I did indeed. Give me a second. Just my volumes. Yes. So games I've played this year. I've not played many games that count this year because I'm Brian and that's what I do. But I did play. I did play a few good games that I did enjoy. So I guess I'll start off with the one that I enjoyed the most and the one I'm playing at the moment. It's Back for Blood.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Excuse me?
Oh, damn.
yeah.
Blood.
It seems like I'm like the only one who seems to have liked it out of you guys. That he just kept on just playing it again and again. So,
We liked
yeah.
it,
We
but
liked it.
was
It's just the progression pissed us off,
yeah, that was a very bitter first taste.
It was all the other additions to the game as opposed to just the core gameplay, which is fun. It was still fun. Grabbing your buddies, running around, shooting zombies, that's great. But everything else, progression, the card system, didn't do much.
Yeah. But it's a good game.
Yeah.
I really didn't find much of that a problem. I'm just enjoying it.
That's good, though.
That's
The
it.
day Bison came to your town. The day Back to Blood came to your town. It was Tuesday.
Yeah, it's just fun. It's just like zombies, and again, it's just like a horde mode, but it's horde mode with a story.
So it's like
Yeah,
Left
so,
4 Dead.
Yeah, it is Left 4 Dead. As they
almost
said,
literally
it is it's just the next version of Left 4 Dead. But yeah, I just like how relatively simple the whole game is. It's not overly complex. Obviously, when you get involved with the card systems and the high difficulties, then it becomes a lot more complex. But on the whole, it's relatively simple. Just hop in. You can play for 5 minutes or so, and then just hop off. So yeah, it's nice.
Good stuff. Anything else?
There we go. The other games I played that I enjoyed was, and this is slightly controversial, Halo Infinite. I actually have been playing that.
Still don't count that
yeah.
as officially released because it's not complete. The campaign still can't do the co-op. A lot of the multiplayer is still not there. I've been playing a lot of Halo also, but I wouldn't have put it on the list just because it's not done yet. They said by hopefully sometime next year. So
Well, it's done to Brian, man.
all right.
Yep, it is done enough that I can play it and I can enjoy it. And I have to say, grappling in first person is unbelievably fun. And I know that Doom Eternal does have it, but I've not played that yet. So yeah, games should have grappling in first person. It should be like the thing. It makes so much sense. It's so good.
I'm waiting for the controversial part though. It's like you're playing Halo. That's like
it's controversial. Well, it's controversial because again, there's no co-op yet and
okay, got
whatnot, and there's no ray tracing yet still. So yeah, it's controversial because of that.
Yeah,
again, as Adam said, it's like it's not finished yet, so that's why. Yeah, and apart from that, I have like two that I can place here, and they can interchange for different reasons. And these are 12 minutes and the medium.
Now, 12 minutes is controversial.
Well, 12 minutes is a relatively fun idea for like a game. You know, it's
the ending people didn't like too much, or journalists.
Yeah, people didn't enjoy the ending. I enjoyed it because it's just really funny and fucked up. So that's quite cool. Well, it is a fucked up ending. Like you can't deny that much. So I just enjoyed that, and I enjoyed the idea that you can, like, it actually feels like a game where your choices actually matter, and there's no like explicit, oh, this is the good choice, this is the bad choice. It's just like, oh no, it's just you just make your choice, and then you don't really know if it's a good choice or a bad choice. Stuff just happens based off that choice, and that's what I enjoy. Like, there's no like, oh, this is the renegade and the paragon, or this is the good and the bad option. It's just either you do this and this happens, or you do that and that happens. You don't really know until you try it, and that's where the fun comes from. You know?
Yeah.
It feels very natural in that aspect, and also it's just the idea of like it's very much a pseudo puzzle game, because you're trying to like figure out like the best way to do certain things. So like the best way to get certain things to happen and certain things to trigger, and then obviously you can try out different ways to trigger them. So I need this event to happen, so I need this thing to trigger. So how best do I do that? And again, like a puzzle game.
I noticed a lot of Xbox Game Pass games. I'm noticing a theme.
Well,
yeah, he's an Xbox.
Well, to carry on the theme, the other game that was tied for third place is The Medium. I actually enjoyed the story, but that's about it. Like, the gameplay itself was kind of a bit It was definitely like a walking sim in that aspect. You don't really do much. I had high hopes for the whole idea, for the whole mechanic where you can go to like a different world, and that affects the real world. I thought there'd be more with that, but there really wasn't anything, and that's really annoying. So that's why I can't really place it. But again, I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the idea that there was this character. She's like a medium, and she sees dead people, and all types of cool stuff. All types of cool stuff happens to her. I thought that was cool, but again, the gameplay was just really annoying. But there was like the rumor that they're making like a Silent Hill game, right?
Yes.
Bloober Team.
Yeah.
So I am eager to see what they do with the story of that, because again, they can do horror to a good degree. So let's see if they can actually. Well, let's see what they do with an IP. So
let's see if they can make a game that. I mean, Bloober Team has done games that had more action and more movement to them, but yeah, let's see if they're able to do that.
Yep. So those are my games.
All right, good stuff. All right, Carlos, man, what you got?
So, I guess I'll go the other way around from everyone. I don't know why we went one through three.
I went three. Wait, yeah, you're right. I did go 1, 2, 3. You're gonna go 3 to 1, aren't you?
I'm gonna go honorable to 3, 2, 1.
Got you.
My honorable mention is Forza Horizon 5. I think that's
Guadalupe.
Guadalupe.
You know?
Pero why?
Mhm.
It,
I gotta put
yo,
more
man.
time into it. I'm waiting for my wheel. It's my
You could,
mother's house. I left my wheel in the garage yet, and they said they're gonna ship it to me. So play some more with the racing.
Listen,
it's listen,
listen.
listen.
What's gonna happen is they're probably gonna forget about it. I'll look through that shit.
Oh yeah, that's
I'll
right,
find
baby. Yeah, I know where it is. Thank you. It's in the garage. Right next to it, there's a wheel, and then there's a bag underneath that has all the cables and the pedals.
I seem to be the victor. You know, I get you your controllers.
Manny, it's in the garage right next to the portrait of Julio. Manny, you remember Julio?
You remember
It's in the garage next to Patrick's old stereo and the
exactly.
Buick.
I think my old Kenwood speakers are there back in the day.
Oh, shit.
He keeps everything. My stepfather keeps everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, keep going.
So yeah, man, Forza Horizon 5 is probably the best Forza Horizon game I've played, or best Forza in general game I've played. I haven't gotten like to play as much as I wanted to, but I played enough to just appreciate what this game is doing, and it's big, it's expansive, it's I mean they've mentioned it's the biggest map out of all the Forza Horizon games, and it's beautiful, man. That when you're playing that, it runs smooth. There's
4K.
no hiccups, 4K HDR, everything, all the bells and whistles. It's got everything, man. Got all the game types, all the game modes. You just go around the map, and it's like you find different types of game modes, and it doesn't get boring. Yeah, so that's my honorable mention. My third place is going to go to. I'm gonna sound like I'll say it after this. It's Metroid Dread.
My man.
Man, I mean, it's just. I guess I gotta give points to. It's like when a musician works on a genre for so long, they just know how to craft a song.
Yeah.
After so many years, that's just how Nintendo games feel in general. But Metroid Dread is just they get everything right. It's it just runs smooth. The bosses are awesome. The little hidden paths and everything, man. All the collectibles. It's just a really well made game, especially on the Switch. It doesn't. I mean, the only like downside of it is it does look like super dated, but it is a Switch game. But everything else, man, it's just great. And the next two games, people are gonna call me a pony.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Pony.
Number two is Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Oh, interesting.
That game, it's not, 20. We've talked about this. 2021 is a down year.
Yeah.
So Kena Bridge of Spirits in most years is probably not in my top 3, or probably not even top 5. But in this year it is. But it is a really, really good game. We mentioned it's more of akin to a AA game more than a AAA game. But it's got a lot of character. It's the story is really good. The characters are really endearing. Everything is just really well made. The combat. The enemies are it's not the easiest game too. But yeah, Kena Bridge of Spirits is really good. It looks beautiful. The soundtrack and the score is really well done. It's just a really well-rounded game, and that's my number 2. And my number 1, Pony Time.
I already know what it's gonna be.
Man, you already know, man. It's the only game. It's the only game that actually looks like it could be part of the next generation.
Yeah.
It's the only one. It's the only game that has
Psychonauts 2.
It's Psychonauts 2. It's the only game that has the balls to fucking just release on one console, and not the motherfucking PS4 and the Xbox One. It's Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, man. That game. Speaking, I mentioned earlier with the whole Nintendo thing. You want to have Insomniac make a game that has crazy ass weapons and good shooting and all of that. Ratchet and Clank has got that on pat, man.
Yeah, man.
And it looks incredible. Like Tony mentioned, it's like
On
how
my
much more of a
TV?
Pixar game? On my TV? How much more of a Pixar game can this look? It's getting better than Pixar at this point. And the mechanics with the rifts is a really well addition. All of the weapons are amazing. You know, the story. You know, it's a story. But it's just a fun game, man. It's probably the most fun some other than some Monster Hunter times that we played earlier in the year. And and replaying Halo with Tony. Ratchet and Clank is probably the most fun I had with gaming this year. It's just it does everything well. It's a great looking game. It's the soundtrack is pretty good. And the shooting mechanics and the weapons and the platforming is probably is top notch. I don't think they can make a better game than what they did, Insomniac.
Yeah, no, the games. Insomniac in general has just been crazy this generation. Like, how you releasing all these games, man? And they're all hot, So yeah, they're the MVP of PlayStation as far as I'm concerned. Best studio, I said it.
Yeah, I think so too. And by the way, I these aren't 2021 games, but I want to give shout outs to two games that I beat this year is Miles Morales and Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah, great game. Hey, Ghost of Tsushima got director's cut, so that's kind of 2021,
Oh, that is true, and I did beat it with the director's cut. I got the platinum on the director's cut.
Man, I'm proud of you, man. Getting the platinum.
And it made you swear off of platinums forever.
Yeah, that's the game that kind of is like, that's too meki.
Yeah,
as they say, the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah, I like getting that platinum. That was a smooth platinum.
That was a smooth platinum.
And also, shout out to Brian mentioned it, Back for Blood. We had our fun.
We had fun.
We did have that issue with the progression system, but once we were actually playing the game, we had fun, especially playing with Adam. There's never a dull moment.
Yeah, Adam, come on, man, we got to go. No, I'm so looking over here.
Goodies.
I gotta get my goodies.
No, I got lost, man. I'm turning around. All right, Adam. Yo, guys, wait here. I'm gonna get Adam.
It was like Adam. He was like, Adam, I think you need to heal up, and he's like charging.
Yeah, he's like, hey,
shit.
I got time to bleed. Like Adam, I think you need to bandage up. Then he gets fucked up, and I'm like, Adam, you're the last guy who needs to be going alone, bro, because you always get fucked up.
He's the descendant of Leroy Jenkins.
That's it,
Shit, I'm learning that the hard way. But like I mentioned, I'm playing the Division 1, replaying it over, but on the Xbox Series X because it had 60 FPS. And I'm playing by myself so far. I got some buddies that are going to jump later, but man, I got to chill out with the Leroy Jenkins over here. I'm getting old early, yo.
Right at
the Madison Square Garden, the hospital, when
you're getting fucked up. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, I got it. But dead constantly. I spent like an hour just dying. I'm like, this is pathetic. I refuse to do matchmaking. I was like, I could do this solo. I got this plan. I got platinum and the other one. Don't tell me I can't do one damn mission by my damn self.
Oh man, and also getting yelled at by Brett. Tony, stop! Like, all right, I'll stop. Oh man. All right, good stuff.
You do run fast.
Oh, I do. Yeah, you know me.
Going.
I'm always like, yo, where you guys at?
Body good, and you're gone. You're like, oh, I'm on this other area. Oh, there's a bunch of bosses here. We're like, we're still picking up the loot from the guys we just killed.
I'm always like, yo, I'm at the exit. Where you guys at? Because I'm always just fucking rushing through it.
Fast travel.
Yeah, you already know, man. All right, man. Now we'll finish things off with what we're looking forward to, 2022 in gaming. So Adam, what are you looking forward to?
Mine's easy. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to WWE 2K22 because 21 was garbage, and they can only go up from there. So they said they redid the mechanics, the gameplay. They added a bunch of fan favorite modes like GM and some other ones. So I'm really hoping they deliver on all of that. That comes out in March. And the wild card, but I'm just going based off of the cycle that the coalition, not the website, but from the developer group, they do it every 3 years. We had from 3 years to 5, and I'm hoping that this year, 2022, we get Gear 6. So those are my 3 that I'm looking forward
No,
to.
nice. My man came up with 3. Shit, I like
Yes.
that. Let's see. For me, Steam Deck. That's the main thing right there. Got to get my Steam Decks.
Oh, but I thought you were talking about games. That's not a game. That's a hardware.
No, we're talking about just in general. We're talking about in general.
All right, so then put that in there. My Steam Deck too.
Yeah, Steam Deck. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to actual next gen games, more of them. Like, I'm not talking about cross gen. Fuck that shit. I know we're still gonna get them, but I want more.
Anything with Unreal Engine 5, right?
No, Unreal. Yo, that Matrix demo. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You know,
build on that.
Yeah, we need more of that in next year. And I'm still mad. I'm pretty sure fucking Nvidia's gonna come out with those fucking 40 series RTX cards, which they shouldn't be, But I'm hoping that we have a little bit of more availability of cards and shit, which will be good, and which would mean consoles as well, because if we get more consoles, then we get more next gen exclusives. So hopefully that'll happen. Game wise, God of War, obviously, Horizon, that's some pony shit right there, I guess. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Ninja Turtles, like Adam said. Other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it for games. So hopefully,
another one we gotta play when that comes out. We'll do that one.
Yeah, no, Midnight Suns. We don't talk about that around here. Logic wins. All right.
Tony,
what's up?
You're also forgetting something.
What's up?
The infinite co-op.
The infinite co-op. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, playing with Carlos. We got when that gets announced, that's when we're gonna go play the other games.
Yeah, play 5 and Reach and stuff.
Yeah, man, for sure. PlayStation 5 Slim on 6 nanometer. I don't know if they're gonna go that far, dude. If they're gonna shrink the shit, no, they're not. 6 isn't it? Aren't they trying to go 5 nanometer now? With they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're keeping the graphics cards the same in those fucking consoles. Although PS5 Slim would be nice. Not coming next year though. That's when Manny will finally pick it up when the Slim comes out.
Yeah, I'll pick it up when the Slim comes out. When that shit doesn't take up like half of my table. I went to visit New York and was at Tony's, man. Every single time I see that shit sitting on the table, I'm like, God damn it, man!
It doesn't look real. It's like this can't be a console. What the fuck?
It looks like it's even larger than a normal sized George Foreman grill.
Yeah.
That's the family grill.
It makes the VCR Xbox One look small. It's like shit. It's like,
PlayStation 5 Slim on 5 nanometer in 2003. We'll see about that. I don't know about that, bro. All right, Chris, what are you looking forward to in gaming in 2022?
I mean, get my hands on the Steam Deck and playing Elden Ring.
Elden Ring.
Yeah, once Elden Ring comes out, we're not gonna hear from Chris. He's gone. He's gone.
Oh,
he will be lost in not Boletaria.
Yes. That's right. I have to expand my tourism business. I got a whole other area.
The Sealy Tours.
That's right.
Welcome to Sealy Tours.
And I'm gonna make a prediction. I'm gonna make an end of the year prediction.
Oh.
I don't think Nintendo is gonna have Zelda ready for their end of the fiscal year.
I agree.
I don't think it's gonna come out in March. Yeah. I think at best it comes out in the summer. Or they save it for holiday 2020.
Wait, so people think it's going to come out?
Yeah, they think it's going to come out.
I'm telling you, they were hyped for Game Awards. They thought there was going to be a trailer and a reveal, and Aonuma was going to come out and give
Aonuma's going to come out.
Yeah, none of that shit happened. They did, and they think it's going to come out like for the anniversary of Breath of the Wild. And I'm like, I don't know where you guys are getting this.
They read it on the internet, Chris. Come on, you know that. The internet never lies.
Yeah,
especially Reddit. Reddit's all facts.
Yeah, so there you go. So that's my prediction. Is they ain't gonna have that game for their fiscal year report. I don't know how Pokemon's doing, to be honest with you.
It's funny. Subgator, shout out to Subgator. He's asking you about that. What do you think about the new Pokemon? Any thoughts? You don't think that's coming either, right?
Oh, the Diamond and Pearl remake. I haven't heard any
Pearl
buzz
with
about it.
Prince.
Ebony and Ivory.
The one that looks interesting
that's
is that
not
Legends
Prince.
one. That one looks interesting, but I don't think that's out yet. It's
Diamonds and
I mean,
pearls.
even Pokemon fans weren't looking forward to the Diamond and Pearl remake. They thought it looked like
Who
butts
picks these
compared to the other
names?
one. No, I asked
Is there a
Pokemon
story
Company.
behind it? Is that there's no story behind it? I swear.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
don't know.
Moon and Stars or whatever. What the
Sun
hell
and
is?
Moon.
Yeah, Sun and Moon. It's very hippie from
and
the
why?
San
Well,
Francisco 1960s.
Sun and Moon had a day-night cycle, as I remember, right?
That sounds like the name of some celebrity kids. That's my kid's son. That's Moon.
There you go. And diamonds and pearls.
Yeah, that's the song with Prince. No, Tony, what you were singing was the Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
Paul McCartney.
That's what I was singing.
And I believe.
Yep.
We're together.
Wait, no, that's not Michael Jackson. It's Stevie
It's
Wonder.
Paul McCartney.
It
and
is
Stevie
Stevie
Wonder.
Wonder. Yeah, yeah.
Wonder.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Because
Stevie Wonder, they're like, hey, you know.
no, like because the way Stevie Wonder, cause together we're perfect. You know?
Paul McCartney and Michael Jackson was Say Say Say.
Say
What you want?
Crazy.
All right. Who's next?
Manny.
Yeah, Manny, you go next. What are you looking forward to?
I don't know what to look forward to because nothing is really impressing me right
Uh-oh.
now. I don't see anything. I mean, Elden Ring, okay, but I can still play that on the previous PlayStation, So like, I don't know. There's nothing really that's really catching my eye right now. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, I was mildly interested in the Steam Deck, but I didn't like all the rigmarole that you had to go through just to get the damn thing.
What? It was simple.
It was
No,
really
it's
simple.
not simple. No,
What?
it's not.
I went
simple.
to my
It's-
Steam and I ordered it. That's it.
That's it. You just sign into your Steam account. It says you want this, $5. Done.
That's it.
And, I don't have enough. There's not enough.
We could do a Kickstarter for your Steam, and everybody will donate a game.
It's not. But I don't want to. I didn't want to invest in it because I don't have a lot of investment in Steam in general.
Oh.
I don't really play Steam games much. And then, as far as the Xbox and the PlayStation, there's really not anything right now that's really interesting me enough to invest. And also, I can't even buy them if I wanted to.
Yeah.
So I mean, what I'm looking forward to next year is the possibility of having any of these next gen consoles actually available. That's what I'm looking for. It's because as far as I'm concerned, a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox, but that's a bunch of myths.
Yeah,
so crazy.
They're fucking Sasquatches in the freaking woods.
Oh man, isn't that crazy?
You wasn't saying that shit. You wasn't saying that shit when you were playing the Matrix demo last night.
I mean, I was playing. It was like a dream. That's like I was in the Matrix.
Whoa, what is this?
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm sort of looking for. Just hopefully the availability of these things being there, and then some really nice cornerstone games. Because I don't feel like God of War is. I mean, it was an okay game. I didn't think it was amazing, like everybody on the planet seems to think. And I mean,
That's controversial.
I was never really interested in Horizon Zero Dawn. To me, it's not something that I really wanted. That sold me on it. I didn't even play it.
Same thing too.
It's not, and I have nothing wrong with. I have no. What is it? No grudges against dinosaurs or robot dinosaurs.
There you go. Exactly.
Danny likes robots and dinosaurs.
I like robots and dinosaurs, but I mean, again, with something that it looks. I appreciate that Horizon Zero Dawn exists. I think it's a very nice looking game, but it's not something that I really care about. So I'm looking. That's what I'm looking for. The thing that comes out of nowhere that is like, oh, all right, now we're talking. But I don't know what that is. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, Carlos.
Oh, wait. Actually, I do have one.
Oh,
That side-scroller samurai game.
Saifu?
Yeah, no, fuck that game.
Oh, damn! Excuse me.
That's
Making it
not even a side
controversial.
scroller game. It's this one samurai game that's coming out by
Oh yeah, black. I call it 2D Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah, that game. That game's cool looking. That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Well,
looking
hold on. What do you have against Sifu though?
Yeah, what's
Man,
up? That's
I don't care about
it's
that
getting
game.
some good praises. People like
Yeah,
it.
Yeah,
whatever.
Richard Bailey liked
I don't
it.
care.
Yeah.
I don't care what people say.
Man, no, seriously, though, I thought you would like that kung fu game. You know?
Yeah,
It
a lot of
doesn't interest me.
action.
It doesn't
Playable on the
interest me at all.
PS4.
Yeah.
Nope, doesn't interest me at all.
Did you like Sleeping Dogs?
Manny
Didn't care
doesn't play
for it.
those
Didn't
kind of
even
games,
bother.
dude. You
You
know?
never play Sleeping Dogs?
I didn't bother with it because it's an open world game, and I have a huge aversion to most open world games.
Adam, you're his fucking cousin. You don't understand this?
You never
It's
knew
got
this,
a lot
man?
of the
Like, I don't.
fighting though, and
I
it's not
never-
so much of an open world game.
Manny,
man.
it's the
No,
open worldness,
no.
bro.
No, it's the
It's
open.
fun.
I
You
don't
go
like.
and
I
you
really
fight
don't
and
care. I really don't care for most open world games. It's a very rare occasion when I will delve into that because I feel like a lot of it is just a bunch of fluff.
Didn't you like Grand Theft Auto 4? I could swear you
Nope,
liked
didn't
4.
care about it. I played it. Because I what was it? Which one's Grand Theft Auto 4? Nico?
That's in New
Nico-
York.
Nico
Yeah, the
Bellic.
New York Liberty.
I thought it
Nico
was
Bellic.
a good. I thought it was a good game. I finished
Rodman.
it, but it's not something that I mean, Tony got it for me for my birthday.
Yeah.
So,
and it's
but
just
you know,
collecting dust.
no, I finished it because I finished my games. But
That was a good
in general, I don't really seek out open world games. It has to be a sort of unique sort of experience for me to say, all right, I'm gonna play this open world game. You know.
Yeah. All right. Carlos, go ahead, man.
So, 2022. It's just a whole bunch of things coming out. I mean, like some people in the panel are looking forward to Horizon Zero Dawn 2, or is it Forbidden West? That's the name. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to, the Dark Souls games have never been my thing, but I really appreciate them. So I'm looking forward to the Sealy tours for Elden Ring.
No, but he has to play the game first, and then you have to wait 10 years, and then you'll get the tour. You know.
I'm looking forward to the tour.
Because we're all jumping. Yeah. We're gonna be jumping in at the same time. You know.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, I don't have to.
I can give a partial tour because
Yeah.
the beta locks you off from progression after a certain point. Like it won't let you go past a certain point. So up to that point, I know what I'm doing, and then after that, it's all new.
It's up to the ladder. That ladder.
Yeah, the
right?
ladder. Yeah, it does let you climb the ladder.
Well, I'll say this: I trust the Sealy instincts more than I do mine.
There
But
you go.
So that game, God of War, Starfield is probably my most anticipated game. I'm not gonna say that, if I were to predict which game I would like more, it's like I have to put my money in which game I would like the most. It's probably gonna be Horizon Zero Dawn 2. I keep saying Horizon Zero Dawn 2, but
Yeah, it's fine.
you know what I mean.
Let's call it Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Works for me, man.
That's the one I have the most faith in. But I feel like Starfield has a potential to be a game that I just I would love more, if that makes sense. So I'm looking forward to those games. I'm also looking forward to the Steam Deck boys.
Steam Deck boys, let's go.
All I ever wanted, man. I was kind of semi-hyped for the Switch when it came out, even though I was really not optimistic about Nintendo. And to be fair, I'm still not optimistic about anything with Nintendo. But
I had no hype toward it, and I think I play it more than anybody here.
Yeah, more than Brett, and he championed it. So yeah, Steam Deck is something that I'm looking forward to. I have, we all do, or for most of us do, have this vast, game libraries, and having a small device you can take on the go. The only downside of this whole thing is I'm probably not gonna be able to take this to New York.
Yeah, no.
I can't go, hang out with Tony with our Steam Decks and the roof tech parties, and and carry that around. But yeah,
they may now let you. There's some places that they won't let you take certain devices out.
Oh, really?
Right? Yeah. When you go to a lot of those rooftop bars and stuff, it's like VIP type stuff. It's just not like, oh, you just walk up and want to hang out there. You got to pay a little extra, and they want
False
to
advertising.
keep things a little private. So they're
False
bougie. Some of them are
advertising.
bougie. Yeah.
I can confirm this is true. I've been to one of those rooftop things a couple months ago, and yep, we had to, give them a little something.
That's it. Well, I mean that is interesting. I was joking, by the way. It was like a Switch kind of joke
Yeah.
thing where,
We're
but
playing basketball on the roof.
playing basketball on rooftop parties and playing the Switch. No one does that. But yeah, the Steam Deck, all of those games. I'm just I'm looking forward to just being able to see something that's worth a damn. At least worthy of the price that it took to get these consoles. It's this year. Ratchet and Clank was probably the closest thing to something that's like kind of like next gen. Hopefully, and you guys mentioned it with the Matrix demo, Unreal 5. Hopefully, we start getting a trickle down of titles. It's like, wow, this is where we're heading to.
Yeah, man.
This is what we can look forward to. So hopefully 2022 is the year. Last generation, it took till what Bloodborne was probably like the first game that came out that was like the big hitter, and what was that, year 3?
Yeah.
So this is year 2. So hopefully we'll get there sooner. But yeah, 2022. Hopefully it's a good one.
Yeah. All right, Brian.
There we go. Yeah, just looking at the list of games coming out, and yeah, there are quite a few games, but unlike my fellow people here, I'm excited for none of the games that you guys are all excited for. Like, Horizon 2 can just come out, and I genuinely don't care. Like, I didn't care enough about the first one to buy it. I didn't care about it when it came out on PC to buy it, so it's just kind of a game that exists as far as I'm concerned.
Question, Brian.
What's up?
Could you care less?
Probably could care less. I just have no interest. Like, it's a game that exists, and at some point I will get around and I will play it. But the fact that I have no urge to play it, and I'd rather play pretty much most other games than that, tells you like quite a lot. Like, I am tempted like to finish off playing Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu more than I am playing Horizon Zero Dawn. So that tells you just my level of interest there.
So we're both in agreement.
You're playing Let's Go Eevee, Manny?
Yes, I'm gonna play Let's Go Eevee on my Switch that I don't have. Wait, I have a couple of DSs around here. Does that work on there?
Yeah, it's probably.
No, it's Switch only, unfortunately.
I know.
Well, yeah. I guess the games that I'm excited for, again, obviously Steam Deck. I'm excited to see what comes of that and how the games actually work on there. I guess a list of games that I can come off the top of my head are Starfield. I'm more curious to see how, like, is it going to be a buggy mess like Bethesda games always are, or does it live up to what's actually being said? I'm interested in that aspect and nothing else, honestly. There's meant to be a new Test Drive Unlimited game coming out. I was a big fan of those games when they came out back in like the PS2, Xbox days. They were just so much fun. Forspoken. I actually want to play Forspoken now, since the last gameplay trailer that they've shown, where they actually shown the gameplay and what you actually do, rather than her prancing through the trees and her bad dialogue. So
prancing through the trees.
Well, that's what she's doing, just prancing through the trees. And it's like, I don't fucking care about this. Like, show me the actual, like, what I'll be doing. Like, if the game is just me prancing through trees for 10 hours, no, I don't care. If the game is me using, like, super cool magic powers, I do care, because magic powers. So they showed that, and I was excited.
She had a magic machine gun.
Yeah. So what I was thinking is I'll probably just going to see if I can't put the game in Japanese and then that way all the horrible dialogue just disappears.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because again, everything sounds better in Japanese. So yeah, Forspoken was one of them, and the Stalker 2, that's also coming out, and there was another game.
NFTs.
No NFTs this time, which is very good. Sifu, I actually want to play that because it looks exciting. And Dying Light 2, that's probably like the only game I'm genuinely excited to play coming out next year.
Look forward to that.
I mean, we all love Dying Light 1, and it's
finally coming out. Finally coming out.
Exactly. You know. So yeah, so those are that's my wish list, I guess, if you want to say that.
Very good. I think Dying Light, I won't believe it's out until I see the end credits. Then I'll believe it. Like, oh shit, it came out. All right, man, that's gonna do it for us. We'll save all the shout outs and stuff for the next episode, the final episode, which is the AMA special, baby. So if you are on Discord, make sure you start submitting your questions for the Sunday's episode, which will be the AMA special. So ask us things other than gaming, because those episodes are always a lot of fun. So yeah, man. But yeah, 2021. Crazy year, kind of like 2020 was also crazy year. Like both of them are kind of an extended version of the same year. It's hard to tell when one ends and the other one begins.
Yeah, I guess it's weird because 2020 it took for fucking ever.
Yeah, we were there for 50 years.
It was a year that never ended, and 2021 it went in a freaking flash.
Yeah, so I guess it evens itself out.
Perfectly balanced.
Right. I just hope like the whole decade doesn't feel like that. It's like, what happened to that decade, bro?
Yeah,
that shit is crazy, man.
Yeah, this is 2029. It's like, man, I still haven't got my PS5.
Imagine that. Well, they don't pull an NVIDIA with that, was it the TI card that they want to come out with now?
I heard about that. Yeah.
Right? And I was like, yo, people can't even get the last card. Yeah. So what are you doing?
Yeah. I wrote an editorial about that because the rumors are like the RTX 40 series. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Nobody could buy the previous shits.
Exactly. That's just bullshit. Can you imagine it? It's like next year we find out, like, guess what? PlayStation 6.
PlayStation, let's fucking go.
Like, what are you talking about?
What are you doing?
Yeah, shit's running on the RTX 50. I'm like, motherfuckers, Tony is going to have a very 3090 Ti Christmas at CES. Yeah, right? Jesus Christ. I'm like, you motherfuckers, you put this shit out, man. Nobody can buy the previous shit, I was about to say something I shouldn't say. I was going to thank a certain country, but we're not going to do that here. Anyway, do we have any plugs we need to do?
No, not right now. I mean, other than there may be a Christmas stream, Christmas Day stream. We'll see. Christmas Eve or Christmas Day.
Man's gonna come out there with a Santa Claus beard, Why do you sound so evil?
I don't know. I can't do it.
Or you can have the hat on at least, a Santa hat. Be festive as shit.
Nah, I'll just play a clip from Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker and get us copyright stricken, and then the video will get removed.
Yeah. All your streams always get copywritten,
Yeah, well, at least they don't pull the video. At least they just put the stupid thing on there.
That shit's crazy. Adam, you don't got nothing until next year, right?
Yeah, nothing. I mean, we got some stuff on the coalition. We're doing our best games of the year, that type of stuff, and that's it. I still want to do the whole thing with the Twitch because I still want to stream some stuff. If I can't pull off the Rockstar table tennis, because I think it's because of the way the 360 is simulated, I'll do Gears and I'll do some Halo with Carlos. Some multiplayer. We'll run around and we'll shoot bitches.
Finish off that game, yo.
That's it. We'll do some of that.
Yeah. But I actually do have something to plug.
Whoa.
Manny and I have something to plug. And maybe
yes, we do.
And maybe
wait. I know what you're gonna say, and it's not just you. It's Manny, you, and I.
Oh,
your new podcast,
and maybe Chris, and maybe Chris in this bitch too.
Oh,
some thwip action.
So,
Chris, what's up, man? You gonna be around on Saturday for the spoiler cast?
Oh, I have to. It depends if I manage to see a certain movie.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, so yeah, we're gonna do a Spider-Man spoiler for the Coalition. I have things to say. Let's just say that my impressions are the opposite of everybody else's in the world right now. If you go on Twitter right now, everybody's like, "Oh my god, this is the most amazing movie! Oh my god!" And I'm like, "Nah, I don't know about all that."
Well, when Wolverine and Superman showed up and started fighting, that blew my mind.
Yeah,
so
I'm like, I don't know about all that, guys. I'm like, are you guys really that easy to please? Is that all it takes now? A little cheap nostalgia and you're good. All right. Or maybe I'm too fucking cynical. I don't know.
It works for video games. So.
Yeah. I've gotten to the point where I'm now like allergic to that shit. Like if you're throwing obvious nostalgia at me, I'm instantly not gonna like your shit. Because I see the rope-a-dope. I'm tired of it. You know.
I saw Tony posting on Twitter is like people think that he's just negative, but he likes stuff. Like he liked that shitty ass Man of Steel movie. It's
but I like that movie though. It's a good movie, you know. But see, Carlos, I like how you picked that, but you don't still like Dune, you know, the Butter movie, you know.
You like Dune? It's Parquet. It's Parquet.
By the way,
Carlos feels the most hurt that you don't like.
Batman or Superman. Yeah.
No. It's not that you don't like it. It's that you think it's just the worst movie ever made.
It's not the worst movie ever, but it's pretty fucking terrible. You know. It is really bad. You want to see the worst movie ever made? Go watch Wing Commander. You know, that's a shitty ass fucking movie.
Oh, that's a terrible movie.
Medic! The fucking medic finally comes out at the end of the movie. They've been yelling at him to come for the whole time. That movie's fucking terrible. I'd rather watch Batman or Superman than that shit. You know, and Justice League Snyder Cut. Fuck that bullshit. You know, but again, people only accuse me of hating on everything when I hate on things they like. You know, because nobody was saying nothing about Dune. I was praising Dune. Nobody was saying nothing, you know. Not saying I'm a hater, but Spider-Man, No Way Home, whatever the fuck this shit is called. I'm sorry, man. All that cheap nostalgia, like that shit doesn't do it for me, man. You know, I'm tired of it. You know, I'm fucking tired of it. This is why there's also, I know some of you guys like the movie. This is why I also don't want to see Ghostbusters. I'm like, no, I'm not dealing with this bullshit anymore. Fuck you, Hollywood. I'm not taking it anymore. You know.
Oh, I liked Ghostbusters. I think it did it better.
Yeah, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this shit because it's like, oh look, you remember this, you know? And then you have this fucking Spider-Man. The whole movie's literally, remember these better Spider-Man movies? All right, fuck out of here, you know.
I watch it tomorrow night.
Are you saying the Garfield Spider-Man movies were better?
To be honest, the second one is just absolutely trash. But you could argue the first Garfield one. You know, I didn't like it. Probably better than the Holland movies, you know. Even though,
I think I like the Holland movies better than the Garfield movies.
Yeah, I'm still about the first one. The second Garfield one is fucking
that
basura.
That was pure garbage.
That's basura. Completely.
Well, that one and Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 was.
Yeah,
it
is. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, nah.
I mean, at least in those movies, they were Spider-Men, where Holland is like Spider-Boy. Oh, Mr. Stark! You can't believe it!
Mr. Stark!
Yeah, man, you're Spider-Man. You're not Spider-Baby.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, so I will finally go. I'm not gonna say shit on Twitter. Motherfuckers gonna get mad, you know. But I'll go off because I got things to say about this movie. Manny already knows what it is, but yeah. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us, man. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter and join the Discord, you know, where it is always popping. You can find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show. That's 2 words, Throwdown Show. And you can visit throwdownshow.com to listen to previous episodes. And if you're watching us on YouTube and you like the content, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when new videos go up. And yeah, everything, links to all that good stuff down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight, I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Deuces.
Adam Vale.
Good week, everybody. Weekend, I should say.
And Brian Manjoma.
Later, people.
All right, guys. We'll see you for the AMA special on Sunday. Later.
Latest.
Latest.